team, no competition. I gotta get it, so it ain't no quitting. We jumped off the benches and jumped in the trenches. No one is better than all of us, and that's why all of us been winning from the beginning. It's more than a game, don't play with my name. You come with your goals, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah. Put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey coach, put me in the game.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something about Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the. Ain't no way somebody daddy ain't gon' give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans, yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they in for. If it coming like this on the intro, what they here for? If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. If this music don't work out, and all to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us. They ain't trying to steal my style. I'm feeling like I just shot for. Can't trust him cause he not my. Cause we worried about getting figures. All my ain't father figures, just know my quick to pop it.
Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
First off, let me talk my. Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my. It's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. first down, and they'll start with Algier. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get him going. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Mariota. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. On the move past the 40. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Throwing, Mariota. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. The Falcons at 1-9 now on the year. They come in the midst of a season-crushing losing streak. It's up to 9 games now.
And this is a team that has not shown much consistency during this losing streak because they've never really looked like they've been ready to play. You question their motivation. You wonder what's going on with them. And I don't have a PhD in psychology, but the body language, it's awful.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Here's Mariota. Oh, he's got his tight end Pitts complete. Touchdown! Kyle Pitts, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Fields. His throw incomplete. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
14 yards in a Chicago 1st down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. 1st down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Fields. Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A shotgun snap, Fields. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now it's Fields off the bootleg. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A read option, here's Montgomery. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Fields now to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Bears! Cole Kmet, 45 yards. And the Bears are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
On second, here's Algier. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw is Mariota. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through a 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. On second down, a run with Patterson. And some room to work. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Algier. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Mariota to throw it. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And now this ball picked up in the end zone. Remember, this is a live ball. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Fields going to get that out wide to Mooney. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Fields. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. Room here to run. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That's going to be a good matchup for him, using him out of the backfield and telling those linebackers, hey, you're not only going to have to try and run with him, but you're going to have to try and tackle him in the open field.
These two teams all tied after one. Again, Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
6 yards left on second down. They'll go with the option. Coming right. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Throwing on third down, Fields. Got an open man, it's Pringle. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6, he got about 5. Fourth down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stopped him short.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Patterson running between the tackles. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, Mariota. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
play action. It's Fields on the move to his left. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he's got room. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Mariota. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Here comes Pettis on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Alex Leatherwood, the Alabama man, called for the penalty there. Off-play action, Fields. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Running left, Montgomery. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs. Now Fields. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Hey, Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Toss left to Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get the ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth down, so they send out Trenton Gill. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. On the return is Pettis. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here this first half. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. Beginning on the ground with Patterson. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to have it here just past the 25. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception, tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. It's a jet sweep. Here comes Claypool with it. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now it's Fields. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the off. Take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Ready up.
Looking to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Ready.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Let's go. Charge.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 23. The danger of a punt that good? A 16-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Fields. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. 84 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Fields. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Montgomery back to the ground, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. On 3rd, here's an option play right, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. He'll drop to throw. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. The rookie was trying to push it down.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On play action, Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Montgomery running right. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. No, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. On the tackle, it was Dane Cruikshank.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll look to throw here. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Malik Harrison leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but just show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Take it in at the 22. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And this one too low. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feed.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Here we go.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run.
Let's go now.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And this offense on 3rd down today, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick six, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick six?
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
38.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be fourth down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Fielded at the 20. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball?
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option. And some space here. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Fields going to get that out wide to Mooney. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Fields now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. The Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. First and 10, it's Patterson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Patterson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Algier. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on third down, Fields. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Okay, ready?
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Ready?
Third down, here's Algier. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 60 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins